Every day, millions of cars drive on something that shouldn't exist, because the road beneath your tires is made partly from the same crude oil that powers the engine above it. That's the strange reality of asphalt. What looks like ordinary black pavement is actually a carefully engineered mixture of stone, sand, and a petroleum-based binder designed to survive years of traffic, rain, heat, and freezing temperatures. And if that formula is even slightly wrong, entire sections of road can begin cracking, rutting, and falling apart, sometimes after just one winter. So how does thick crude oil become a surface strong enough to carry thousands of vehicles every day? Why does the recipe matter so much? And what makes one of the world's most common materials one of its most carefully engineered? This is the real story of how asphalt is made. The black residue nobody wanted. It starts underground. Crude oil isn't a single liquid. It's a cocktail of hundreds of different hydrocarbons, some light, some heavy, some almost solid. When oil reaches a refinery, it enters a massive distillation column and gets cooked above 350 degrees Celsius. At that heat, the lighter fractions rise. Gasoline boils off near the top. Diesel separates in the middle. Jet fuel peels away from its own layer. But at the very bottom, the heaviest, darkest, most viscous fraction, nothing evaporates. This material is called bitumen. For a long time, refineries considered it almost worthless, a thick, sticky byproduct left after everything valuable had been extracted. Here's where it gets interesting. That worthless residue turns out to be one of the most structurally perfect adhesives in nature. It is waterproof, it is flexible, it bonds to stone at a molecular level. It gets stronger under compression. Engineers figured this out in the late 1800s. And the moment they did, the entire concept of the modern road changed forever. But bitumen alone can't build a road. What it needs is the other half of the equation. And that half comes from a completely different industry. The stone that takes years to prepare. Somewhere in a quarry, a controlled explosion tears a cliff face apart. Massive boulders tumble down. Excavators scoop them into dump trucks. Those trucks carry the rock to a crushing plant, where it's fed through jaw crushers, cone crushers, and impact mills, each one reducing the stone into smaller and smaller pieces. But here's what most people miss. The size of that stone isn't random. It's engineered. Asphalt is a precise architecture. Large stones, sometimes 20 millimeters across, create the load-bearing skeleton. Medium gravel fills the gaps. Fine sand fills the gaps between that. And mineral filler, often limestone dust, locks everything together at the microscopic level. Each fraction gets screened, weighed electronically, and stored in separate silos. The ratio of each size changes how the final road performs. Too many large stones and the surface becomes porous. Water gets in and freezes. Too much fine material, and the road becomes unstable under heat. It starts to flow. A highway carrying heavy trucks needs a different formula than a quiet street. An airport runway is built to a completely different specification. Getting this ratio right separates road that lasts 20 years from road that crumbles in two. And when stone finally meets oil, that's where the real precision begins. The moment stone meets oil, the stone arrives at the asphalt plant superheated and completely dry. Even small amounts of trapped moisture can cause a road to blister and fail, so the aggregate is heated to around 160 degrees Celsius before mixing. At exactly the right moment, hot bitumen is added. Inside a high-speed mixer, every stone gets coated with a thin film of binder, but timing is everything. The mix must stay hot above roughly 140 degrees Celsius or it becomes unusable. Once it's loaded into trucks, the clock starts. If it arrives too cold, the entire load can be rejected. That's why asphalt plants, trucks, and paving crews operate like a single machine. The paving process can't stop, because even a brief delay can create weak spots that crack under traffic. This is precision manufacturing happening in real time. The machine that lays a road. The paver moves at walking pace, roughly 3 to 6 meters per minute. Behind it, it drags a heated metal plate called a screed. The screed floats on the fresh mix, and levels it automatically using vibration and weight. Conveyors feed hot mix from the truck at the front. Augers spread it sideways across the full lane width. The screed smooths it flat. Then the rollers arrive. Steel drum rollers weighing up to 12 tons pass over the surface in precise patterns. First, a vibratory roller. Mechanical vibration collapses air voids between stone particles. Then, a rubber-tired roller kneads the surface and fills gaps. Then a finish roller for the final surface. Each pass compresses the asphalt to a target density, 92 to 96% of maximum theoretical density. Too low and water enters. Too high and the road loses flexibility and cracks under thermal stress. Engineers walk behind with density gauges, checking compaction in real time. At 94% compaction, 1 square meter of road contains almost no air. It behaves like a near solid, but with just enough microscopic flexibility to absorb wheels, temperature changes, and the slow movement of the ground beneath it. When it cools in just a few hours, the road is ready. A material that never truly dies. Here's something almost nobody tells you. When an asphalt road wears out, when the surface cracks, when potholes form, it doesn't get thrown away. A milling machine with hundreds of carbide-tipped teeth shaves off the worn layer in precise 50-millimeter strips. Those fragments, called reclaimed asphalt pavement, get loaded into trucks and taken back to the plant. Then they get used again. Modern plants can incorporate up to 100% recycled content in certain mixes. The old bitumen, still coating the old stone, gets reactivated with heat and rejuvenating agents that restore its original flexibility. The result is new asphalt, chemically almost identical to virgin material, made almost entirely from a road that already existed. This is why asphalt is the most recycled material on Earth by volume. Over 100 million tons of reclaimed asphalt is recycled in the United States alone every single year. It saves raw materials and cuts CO2 emissions dramatically. The road beneath your tires might already contain material from a road built 40 years ago. Think about what just happened. Oil pulled from deep underground, rock blasted from a cliff face, both transformed through heat, precision, and engineering, combined into a material holding together entire civilizations. 40 million miles of it, carrying billions of people every single day without a second thought. The road feels permanent, like it was always there. But now you know it was engineered to the millimeter, timed to the minute, and designed to eventually become itself again. You've been driving on one of the most sophisticated materials ever made. You just never had to think about it. And that invisibility, that's exactly how good engineering is supposed to work. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. That already puts you ahead of most viewers. If you're curious about the hidden side of everyday things, subscribe for more and let me know in the comments what we should break down next.